Washington State enacts 2030 target to phase out ICE vehicles. April 11, 2022. Washington State Governor Jay Inslee has signed into law a bill requiring all new cars registered in the state to be electric by 2030. The Clean Cars 2030 measure, part of the $16.9 billion Move Ahead Washington transportation package, sets the most aggressive state target in the U.S. for the phase-out of gas-powered cars, 5 years ahead of California's 2035 deadline, and establishes an interagency council to devise a plan for achieving the goal. A coalition led by Cultura, a non-profit focused on phasing out the use of gasoline, directed the campaign that led to the passage of the measure. In 2017, Matthew Metz, founder and county executive director of Cultura, published an op-ed praising a bill that called for a 2040 ICE phase-out in California, and calling for Washington state to follow suit. Crazy was one of the kinder words used in the media reaction that followed. A few years later, some 25 countries and several U.S. states have announced plans for phase-outs. And the idea no longer seems so crazy. According to Cultura, Clean Cars 2030 will spur a comprehensive planning process for Washington to get ready for 100% vehicle electrification, clarify the direction of the state's EV market for local governments, automakers and other stakeholders, and incentivize private sector investment in EVs and infrastructure. With the passage of Clean Cars 2030, the era of gasoline-powered cars now has an end date in Washington, said Metz. Clean Cars 2030 sets Washington on a nation-leading path toward a fully electric automotive future. Passing Clean Cars 2030 will create a clear path forward for the future of the electric vehicle transition in our state, said Senator Marco Leas, one of the bill's sponsors. This part of our Move Ahead Washington plan will create a timeline with the data, tools and guidelines that every sector from governments to businesses can plan for with confidence. Cultura is also working to pass similar Clean Cars 2030 measures in other states. A Clean Cars 2030 bill was recently introduced in the Rhode Island legislature. Source reposted and summarized from Charles Morris at Enacts. My take: sounds great as long as they only mean BEVs and not PHEVs. Tesla China sells 65,814 cars in March. April 11, 2022. Tesla China had another blockbuster month in March, selling 65,814 cars made at Giga Shanghai. That is nearly double than during the same time period last year when Tesla sold 35,478 Model 3 and Model Y cars in March 2021, which at the time was a new record for the automaker. According to figures from the China Passenger Car Association, all but 60 of the cars sold in March were sold domestically. This now gives Tesla a 3-month total of 190,446 cars sold in China in 2021, which extrapolated out to a full year equates to 761,864 deliveries. However, Tesla has their work cut out for them if they are going to be able to reach that number. Giga Shanghai has been shut down since March 28, and with COVID lockdowns recently being extended indefinitely, there is a very real possibility Tesla could lose out on an entire month of deliveries in China. The good news is that they have been working over the last few months to increase production capacity, so they may be able to make up the shortfall as they ramp production through the remainder of the year. Source reposted and summarized from Darren John at Drive Tesla Canada. My take: that is one awesome production ramp. I expect Texas and Germany to ramp up eventually to the same amounts. Clearest image of Cybertruck with new exterior. April 11, 2022. Tesla just brought a Cybertruck to Giga Texas for the Cyber Rodeo festivities. You can see that the rear passenger door is made of a different shade of steel. Could this be the latest design of the Tesla Cybertruck? What makes the door of the Cybertruck a slightly different shade of steel? It could be for a number of reasons. But since this is a prototype of the vehicle, I wouldn't put too much stock in anyone saying that Tesla can't get the steel to match everywhere for the Cybertruck. There is even some video of the Cybertruck, which allowed us to briefly see the Cybertruck from a distance as a crowd of people hovered around the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck looked similar to old designs, with the exoskeleton being much shinier than previous versions. There is still the giant windshield wiper on the Cybertruck and the windows look tinted. The wheels are thick and have 6 metal connections inside the tire. Later in the video, there was a Cybertruck with a closed back end and top on the back. While undoubtedly practical, it is undeniable that the Cybertruck's massive single wiper still looks very utilitarian and traditional compared to the rest of the all-electric pickup truck. Overall, Tesla is still working on the Cybertruck, though Elon Musk seems to be intent on making the vehicle Tesla's ultimate creation to date. Thus, features such as its wiper system could still change as the Cybertruck nears production. Will the Cybertruck be released in 2023? Anytime there is a new picture or video of the Cybertruck, there is excitement around it. Tesla has had to delay the Cybertruck several times since its initial unveiling. This is the right thing for Tesla to do. It has a huge backlog even for its existing vehicles. I think that Tesla may release the Cybertruck in 2023 if the supply chain challenges that are plaguing the markets now are eased and if they are able to start producing and getting enough batteries to make it feasible to have the Cybertruck released. When Tesla Cyber Rodeo began, Elon Musk showed the original Tesla Roadster, which was the first production car Tesla ever made. Tesla has since made the Model S, the Model 3, the Model Y, and in the future, I do believe we'll have the Cybertruck. I didn't think this was going to happen until I saw it at Cyber Rodeo driving across the stage with Elon Musk. This tells me that Tesla is serious about producing this vehicle. Otherwise they wouldn't be promoting it. I loved it when Elon Musk said, "We're going to smash the window again." That was funny. The Cybertruck had no handles on the door as well. Elon Musk said, "We're going to have an incredible Cybertruck product for you next year." Source reposted and summarized from Jeremy Johnson at Talk News. My take: can't wait to test drive one of these Cybertrucks. Hope it's worth the wait. March 2022 plug-in car sales almost doubled in United Kingdom. April 11, 2022. In March, new passenger car registrations in the UK decreased by a noticeable 14.3% year-over-year to 243,479. Which is the weakest March since 1998. The Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders notes that results are so low because supply chain shortages constrain deliveries. On the other hand, plug-in electric car sales expand quickly despite the challenging situation. According to the official data, last month's passenger plug-in electric car registrations amounted to 55,352, which is 41% more than a year ago and a new all-time monthly record. Market share was close to 23%. Together with 27,737 non-rechargeable hybrids, up 28.4%. The X-EVs BE versus P-HEVs. HEVs stand for 34.1% of the market. The most important thing for us is that the all-electric car registrations reached a new all-time monthly record of 39.315, up 79% year-over-year, which is 16.1% of the total market. On the other hand, plug-in hybrids are in retreat, down almost 8% year-over-year to 16.037. So far this year, more than 93,000 new passenger plug-in cars were registered in the UK, reaching an average market share of over 22%. Source reposted and summarized from Mark Kane at Inside EVs. My take: the plug-in hybrids are holding the switchback. They are horrible. Crappy ICE cars and crappy electric cars all rolled into one. The worst of both worlds.